February 4th, 2012, New York City. What was seemingly just another regular season game was about to be the start of something special. For context, the Knicks have lost 11 out of their 13 games previously. The Knicks coach Mike D'Antoni was looking for that little spark to ignite the team out of this terrible run of form, and he found it in an unexpected play. A little known 6'2" point guard who was about to ignite one of the most exciting 3-week stretches in recent New York Knicks history. His name was Jeremy Lin. But before we get to this game and the resulting 3 weeks, we have to rewind it back. It's 2005, Palo Alto High School in California, and Jeremy Lin was playing point guard for them. Jeremy Lin was dominant in high school. In his senior season, he put up 15.1 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 7.1 assists, and was voted California State Player of the Year, and his team would eventually win the state championship. With all this success, you would think Lin would have his choice of D1 schools, but that wouldn't be further from reality. Lin wouldn't receive a single D1 scholarship offer from any program. Many people, including myself, believe this lack of attention from schools was due to his race. It's possible colleges didn't think they should waste a scholarship offer on some skinny Asian kid. Lin would end up taking his talents to Harvard. Yeah, Harvard, where he would show he is the real deal, as in 4 seasons he would prove to be a great basketball player. Over his college career, he averaged 12.9 points, 4.3 assists, and 3.5 assists per game for Harvard. It's his senior season though where he impressed the most. He averaged 16.4 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 4.5 assists per game, and was first team All-Ivy League. Lin would be one of the best Ivy League players of all time. Now it's the 2020 draft. A draft full of talented prospects like John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, and Gordon Hayward. And as you'd expect, they were all picked one by one. But Lin, he wasn't. Even after showing he could hang with some of the best prospects in the nation, he wouldn't be picked in either the first or second round. He should have. Of course, hindsight is 2020, but even at the time, Rockets GM Daryl Morey, when speaking retrospectively on Lin, said Houston's analytical model for prospects said Lin should have been a mid-first round pick. Lin, by this point, has on 2 occasions showed what he can do on the court, and both times seemingly the basketball world overlooked him. A weaker man might have just called it quits. Obviously, the basketball world doesn't want him, but Lin's journey was just starting. He would be picked up by his hometown team, the Golden State Warriors, but would receive very little playing time, as he would only play 26 games and only average 9.8 minutes per game. The following year, he would be picked up by the Knicks. At the time, no one really cared, just another guy to help fill out the roster. But little did we know Lin would be the man behind the most electrifying 3 weeks in recent Knicks history. But now, I guess we're all caught up. So it's February 4th, 2012. Knicks, who have been struggling, take on the New Jersey Nets. Lin gets subbed on late into the first quarter. Lin exploded that night in a 99-92 win over the Nets as he scored 25 points and dished out 7 dimes. Linsanity was officially in motion. Lin said after the game, "This night, it just hasn't really sunk in yet, to be honest. It's like I'm still kind of in shock about everything that happened, but I'm just trying to soak it all in right now." That could have been the end of it. We've all seen players pop off for one game and never go to that level again. But this wasn't that case. Another win against the Wizards led by Lin followed. Then the Knicks take on the Lakers. The Lakers led by their superstar duo of Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol. At the end of the season, they would end up finishing as the 3rd seed in a competitive West. Prior to the game, Kobe was asked about Lin and he famously said, "Who?" Lin would dominate, dropping a career-high 38 points on the Lakers, and would win the game 92-85. And to think this was just the beginning. For the next couple of weeks, Linsanity was in full swing. Every night the Knicks played, Jeremy Lin had the whole NBA community's collective eyes on him, and he was stepping up to the pressure. It was a true Cinderella story come to life, and of course Jeremy Lin spent years playing for Knicks and was a successful player and finally earned a basketball community's respect. Oh wait, that didn't happen. Even after Lin showed the world what he can do, he still didn't properly receive the respect I feel like he deserved. Even when Linsanity was happening, people were discrediting him. The man now having a boxing match with YouTuber Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather said, Jeremy Lin is a good basketball player, but all the hype is because he's Asian. Black players do what he does every night and don't get the same praise. While yes, most of Lin's hype was due to his race, he deserved it. Because of the fact he was Asian was the reason he didn't receive a scholarship offer or even get drafted into the NBA. But that wasn't the only trouble for Lin, as he also had to deal with Melo. Let's get this straight, I'm a Knicks fan. I love Melo more than anybody. But what he did to Lin was just sad. Melo wasn't happy that Lin was taking all the attention and they just couldn't coexist together. To be honest, Lin has easily been one of the best point guards we've had during the 2020s, if not the best. But Melo would rather have him gone than build a successful team around them too. And the pettiness didn't stop there. After Lin received a life-changing contract from the Houston Rockets, Melo would call the contract ridiculous. Like, Melo man, I love you, but that's just a bit salty, my guy. Lin would play in Houston for 2 seasons where he put up solid stats of 13 points, 2.8 rebounds and 5.4 assists per game. Lin was brought there to be the star of the team, but that was before James Harden was brought in and developed into one of the best players in the entire NBA. And Jeremy Lin's role on the team was reduced. Even though in hindsight we can understand that his averages were in direct correlation to playing alongside Harden at the time, many NBA fans saw it as a disappointment because they expected Lin to make a massive jump in his game in Houston. The same thing happened in LA because he was playing alongside Kobe Bryant. Lin as a player is at the best with the ball in his hands, so playing with 2 players who were extremely ball dominant was always going to lower his production. Then he would be taken by the Hornets, but he would just end up being the backup behind Hornets franchise point guard Kemba Walker, again decreasing his averages to only 11.7 points and 3 assists per game. Then he joined the Nets. The team needed a leading guard and Lin was ready to offer that. But sadly his time with the Nets ended prematurely, as in his 2 seasons with Brooklyn he would only play 37 games. And whilst he was out, D'Angelo Russell developed into one of the better point guards in the NBA. This was pretty much the end of Jeremy Lin's career as a starting caliber player in the NBA. Lin would play backup point guard roles in the NBA. Eventually he would be part of the NBA champion Toronto Raptors as a backup for Kyle Lowry. In that amazing finals run he would receive less than 2 minutes of playing time per game, but would earn himself his first NBA championship. Jeremy Lin is now playing for the Warriors G League team after signing with the Warriors in the 2020 offseason. Something we all can take from Jeremy Lin's story is perseverance and overcoming adversity. In my opinion, if in 2012 Jeremy Lin was able to be a lead guard on a team, he could have been an all-star caliber player. But circumstances around him made his path to stardom impossible. Even so, we will always have those few crazy weeks in 2012. Anyway guys, thank you for watching the video. If you made it this far, then you should consider liking and subscribing for more NBA content. But anyway guys, hopefully you have a wonderful day and laters.